and welcome back to Aceleron's unboxing series. Today we're going to talk about the Spectra Synergy Gold Portable, also known as the Spectra SG Portable pump. And when we go through this pump today, we're going to talk about the special features of it, what's included with the pump, how to assemble it, and how to use it, obviously, and then the care and cleaning for it. And by the way, if you haven't ordered your breast pump through insurance yet, you can visit us at aceleron.com/order to place your order today. Special features for the Spectra SG Portable are, first of all, that it has a dual motor. So this is really cool because it has two motors instead of one, which makes it pretty different from some other pumps, and that will change how the pump functions overall. It also has a built-in rechargeable battery, so it charges just like a cell phone. You can use it on the go. And then it also has a mute button so that we can turn the sound off for some of the features. And then lastly, it also has a 2-year warranty. Let's assemble the SG Portable. When it's fully assembled, it'll look similar to this, and I like to go bottom to top. When we go through assembly, I'll also talk about some of those parts and when to possibly replace them. You have a 5-ounce storage capacity bottle, and it has a wide neck opening here. It includes 2 of those, and it also includes a whole nipple and feeding setup, as well as a storage cap. So I'm going to show you how to go between feeding and storage. This cap here is so that the nipple will stay clean and also so it won't leak if you're traveling with milk in the bottle. And then if you decide not to feed with this, you can push to the side of that nipple and it will come out and you have that open cap here. This is where that small disc with the handle comes into play. That is so that you can use it as a storage bottle. So you do one or the other. It's not typically that you would have this in there with the nipple. It's the nipple or the disc for storage. For pumping, we have our bottle, and then we're going to move up to our top portion. So we have our breast shield here, and on the bottom of the breast shield, you're going to have your duckbill valve. The duckbill valve has an opening at the bottom to let the milk enter the bottle, and it just slides right on. It's just a little silicone piece, so there's no special release or way to put it on. It also doesn't matter what position it faces in, so anywhere in there is fine. When you take this duckbill valve off, you want to be careful not to pull it from the tip, and you want to pull it more from the base of that. And that will hang sort of right into your bottle there. The duckbill valve is recommended to be replaced around every 1 to 3 months, and it's really depending on use, and that's because it can be worn down. You'll know you need to replace it in usually 1 out of 2 ways. Either you're going to be cleaning your parts, which we'll talk about, and you'll notice that it has some stretching or tearing and it's a little loose, or you'll go to pump and you'll notice you won't have suction on that side, and that's how you know to replace it. For your breast shields, you actually have 4 breast shields total in your kit. Now you don't need 4 breast shields to pump, but they give you 4 because they give you 2 sets, 2 sizes, and that's indicated on the side of the tunnel here. It will either say 24 millimeter or 28 millimeter. The reason why they give you the 2 sizes is so that it fits you correctly. The correct fit for your breast shield can impact your milk output, and it can also impact your comfort while pumping. Outside of that duckbill valve on your breast shield, we also have what's called the backfiller protector, which you can see here. In the manual, it might look like all one piece, or when it's together, it looks like one piece, but it's actually 3 pieces. There are 2 clear pieces and 1 white soft silicone piece. I'm going to show you how to put it together and then explain the function, because if you put it together incorrectly, it can be really frustrating with when you're pumping because it can fall apart. We're going to start with our smaller clear plastic piece with that protrusion facing away from you. Then you're going to take that white silicone piece with the lip facing away as well, and you're going to bring that around the back and fully seal all the way around. You might notice that that silicone does touch the center of that smaller clear plastic piece. Then you're going to take your larger clear plastic piece with the protrusion facing you, bring that around the back, and also make sure it's fully sealed all the way around. You may notice that that silicone piece does not touch the center of the clear, so there's a little bit of a gap there. The next part that you're going to do is test out the 2 protrusions on the back of your breast shield in this circle here. One of them is going to be really loose and kind of fall right out, and the other one's going to be nice and tight and secure, and so that's how you know which way it's supposed to face. and that does go all the way to that backflow protector wall. The other side of that backflow protector is where your tubing connects. And your tubing should also go all the way to the wall of your backflow protector. So once fully assembled, your collection kit will look like this. And the other side of your tubing, which has the adapter, will connect to the front of your pump motor. Now, on the front of the pump motor, there's this little thing here. It says breast pump. It's just a little silicone door that opens right up. It just closes to keep everything clean if tubing's not in there. And the adapter piece just inserts right in. Now, there's no stop line or anything like that. You're just inserting it until it stops. Don't feel like you need to force it in. So your full assembly looks like this. We're gonna start with what is on the front of the screen, and then we'll show you where the button is to turn it on, because it's actually on the back of the pump. So right here on the front of the pump, you have the vacuum indicator on the top, and that's because the screen will light up here to show you the vacuum level and timer. You have your indicator for your left or your right side, because this pump is dual motor, so it has two motors, one to control the left side suction and one to control the right side. You're able to change the suction strength on both sides due to those dual motors, and you still have the option of modes just like the other Spectra pumps as well. On the back is where the power button is, and it's right next to where the charging port is. Quick press here and you're gonna turn your pump on, and you'll see that it doesn't start right away. It starts off in a pause mode. You have an indicator for your battery life and a timer in the middle, and then it also shows you which mode you're in. The first mode you want to start in is massage mode, and that's indicated by the three wavy lines that are also on the mode button. To turn the pump on or start creating suction on either side, you're going to push the side you want to pump on. And just as a reminder, your tubing connects to the front here, and each side is where you're going to insert the tubing with the adapter to be able to pump. So to turn on the left side, you're just going to hit the left indicator, and it will turn on again in the mode that you have it started in. You can start both sides at the same time, or you can turn them off. Something to note, if you turn both sides off, your timer will stop. So if you want to keep your timer going, you want to make sure you don't turn them both off. You only turn off the side that you want to stop pumping on. So to start your pumping session, you're going to turn on whatever side you'd like to pump on. Let's just say we're going to start on both sides, and you pick the mode that you would like to start in. Massage mode has a faster suction pattern, but lower strength. So you have the option of 1 to 5 for this, and you can change it for both sides. To find your comfort level, we recommend starting at 1 and going up and up and up until it's uncomfortable, and then going back down 1. So whatever it is for your right, you can set it at, and whatever you want for your left. They don't have to match. Once you've had your letdown, meaning your milk has started to flow, you're gonna hit that mode button, and it's gonna switch to expression mode. And again, you can change each side for what strength you'd like. Before it was only 1 to 5, now it's 1 to 12. Now, just because this pump has 12 levels of suction doesn't mean you need to use it. You're again just using your comfort level. So starting at 1, going up and up and up until it's uncomfortable, and then back down 1. Your battery is still indicated here, and you still have your timer, and then the mode. One thing to note is that the pump will turn on in whatever mode you left it off on. So if I turn the pump off in massage mode, it'll turn back on in massage mode. But if I turn it off in expression mode, it will turn back on in expression mode. So it's recommended to turn it to massage mode, where you typically will start your pumping session before you turn it off. Now, when we are doing all of this button pushing, and when I'm changing everything in here, you may notice there's a beep to every button. And that's just because it is a touch screen. If you choose not to have that beeping, you can just press and hold the mode button for 5 seconds, and it will have this little indicator here that it's gone on mute. So that way you can change things and you won't have the button beeping anymore. To take it off of mute, same thing, just press and hold for 5 seconds. That will go away and you have a tone available again. Since this pump is dual motor, it has the 2 ports for both things of tubing. Now you can leave the tubing in, or you can take one out for single pumping. So if you only want to pump one side at a time, you can have both sets of tubing in there. That won't impact it because you can turn on just one side if you'd like. If you do want to have only one set of tubing in there, you can, but it's really up to you because you get to choose what side you'd like to pump on for single pumping. And for double pumping, both sets of tubing, both collection kits, and you can turn both sides on and change your strength for what you need. Cleaning the Spectra SG Portable is very similar to cleaning the Spectra S1 or S2. So the guidelines that we follow when we talk about cleaning and care of your pumps has to do with the CDC guidelines and what they've set out. You're cleaning your pump collection kit after every pumping session. So if you pump twice a day, you're cleaning this twice a day. But you're only cleaning what comes in contact with milk. The backflow protector on this collection kit moves with the air so that suction can be applied to your body, but it doesn't let any milk or moisture get by it. So your tubing should not have anything in it, just air. So that is not a part that you have to routinely clean with everything else. Also, all the cleaning guidelines that I'm going to talk about for this collection kit are similar to the feeding aspects that come with your pump, like the nipple and that cap. For cleaning, the option of cleaning in the sink or the dishwasher are the first two recommendations by the CDC. No matter what, you're going to store your milk however you choose, and then you're going to rinse out and fully separate your parts. So all of these pieces are going to come out, and you're also going to fully separate the backflow protector. So all three pieces, and it just opens up kind of just like a little clamshell here. So you have 6 pieces per side, 12 pieces if you're double pumping. You rinse off all that excess breast milk, as I said, and then the first option is washing them in the sink. So you need a clean, separate bowl from the rest of your food dishes. All of these parts are going to soak in some warm, soapy water for about 5 minutes, and then you can wash them as you normally would, rinse with cool, clear water, and then let them air dry. That takes a total about 6 minutes. The other option is the dishwasher. So if you wash these in the dishwasher, you're still disassembling, you're still rinsing with to get the excess breast milk off, and then you're going to put them on the top rack of the dishwasher only. They can't go below the top rack because if they do, it's really hot down there, it can melt or warp the parts. We really don't want that to happen. So they're going top rack only, all of these parts. And then once the dishwasher is done running, you want to take these out pretty quickly so they don't sit in that wet environment. The other recommendation by the CDC is to sanitize your pump parts at least once a day. This is especially important for any baby that's born prematurely, any baby under 3 months old, or anyone with a sensitive immune system. The sanitizing is a little bit different. There's 4 general options per the CDC, but Spectra has, a little bit more strict guidelines on those. So I'm going to, talk about Spectra's specific guidelines. For Spectra, you're going to sanitize, again, at least once a day, morning, afternoon, or night, whatever works for you. And you're going to start with all of your parts. So the first option is boiling. So you're going to take a large stock pot, put your parts in, and make sure that the water is at least 4 inches above the parts so that they have enough room to move around in there while they're boiling. You're only going to boil the silicone parts, your duckbill valve and that backflow protector, as well as your nipple if you're using it as a feeding bottle, for only 2 minutes. So the water's boiling. After 2 minutes, you're going to take these parts out. The harder plastic pieces can stay in for 3 to 5 minutes. And once your parts come out of the boiling water, you're just going to put them to the side on a clean towel or on a paper towel just to let them air dry, and they will air dry pretty quickly. The next option is a standalone sterilizer. So if you have one that sits on your counter, you can use that. You just want to make sure you have the right amount of water and you're following the guidelines set out by that manufacturer for the sterilizer on if it has a dry cycle or not, and just paying attention to if you need to have it air dry, the parts air dry after. The third option is one that's not necessarily recommended by Spectra, and that is the dishwasher. So the CDC says that you can sterilize in a dishwasher, but Spectra's not a huge fan of it. They don't want it to wear down your parts too early, so it's not recommended to sanitize your parts in the dishwasher on a sanitized cycle for your Spectra. The last option are micro steam bags. So there are manufacturers that make micro steam bags that look like large sandwich baggies, and you're just going to put your parts in there, and you need to make sure you have the right amount of water, and then you're only microwaving it for a small amount of time. So it's only about 1.5 to maybe 2.5 minutes or so, depending on the manufacturer of that bag, and it steams them to sanitize your parts. You're going to take them out, and then they air dry. The reason why we have this unboxing series and the reason why we have all of this support is because Acceleron really cares about a journey from prenatal all the way through postpartum, even return to work. So we don't want somebody to just get their pump and say good luck. So we have the unboxings that are recorded here in this series. We also have one-on-one unboxings and then some other virtual consults to help you with that journey. To find these and many more resources, please visit us at acceleron.com and you'll be able to find them all there.